Hey, good afternoon or good evening, everybody. It's pretty late. It's about, I don't even know what time it is. It's really, really late. But tonight, tomorrow morning, I'm heading out to Frederick, Maryland to do an event. And I think it's the Illuminate show. And tonight, what I have noticed is that I'm running into a cold. My daughter Madeline has been sick. All week long, and I'm laughing not because she's sick, but because it's super late and I'm talking really low because I don't want to keep my family up and I don't want to wake them up. But I'm feeling like I need to get this YouTube out to tell everybody some things that are going to help them to be better and to feel better. Some are going to be old things that lots of you may have known, like old wives' tales and things like that. Okay. All right. But actually, there's a lot of truth in many of the wives' tales that we learn or have heard all throughout time that really help people when they don't feel good, when they have a little bit of cold or a cough or a virus coming in, or they feel it coming, or they start to get really sick. There's lots of really cool different things that you can do that are all natural when you get things like the flu or colds or really bad colds or nausea and vomiting, as well as sinus congestion. And today I have like a scratchy throat, and it makes complete sense because I'm classic for burning the candle at both ends. As most of you know, I go everywhere all the time. So I got a little raspy voice here tonight, and I'm like, I was like kind of like resting on the couch, and I'm like, uh-oh. As soon as you start to feel a little congested and you get a raspy voice, you have to start doing things that are going to help you to be well. All right. A lot of my favorite products are all natural. All right. Everything here that is put on this earth is designed to help heal and assist you in some way, shape, or form. So sometimes it's okay to take over-the-counter meds for colds and sicknesses. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need a break from the suffering, the pain, the congestion, and all of that. And it is all here for a reason, to help and assist you. All right. And sometimes there is a balance. I prefer whatever is best for you in the moment, of course, as all natural as possible, always. But sometimes you need products like Sudafed or Quercetin or, Advil or Benadryl for all different reasons, health-wise, okay? Now, of course, this little video here is in no way, shape, or form a replacement for going to the doctor. You feel in your heart what is best for you, and you go to the doctor when you are sick if you feel that you need to, okay? All of these things that I'm going to talk to you about today and tell you about are tips and tools to assist you to feel better, okay? So, just so you know, all right? So when you take sometimes over-the-counter medicines, it is because your soul calls them in and they've had enough suffering, they've had enough being sick, and you just need a break. For example, my daughter Madeline just has been sick all week. We've been doing for her to help her feel better. It's viral. She went to a party last weekend, and like clockwork, she doesn't go to regular school. She is homeschooled privately for various reasons, which we can talk about on a different YouTube. One of them is being super spiritual, super empathic, super gifted, and it's a lot of energy coming onto her, and that's one of the reasons why I recommend homeschool to a lot of people who have super gifted children, super spiritual children who are serious empaths. One of the best things to do for them is to get them out of an environment where there's lots of different energy, and the energy is on them, and they don't know how to cope or deal, and it affects them in some way, shape, or form that is unhealthy into little, great, and huge extents, okay? When that happens, then you have to do some alternative things in your life that might not be in the norm of things like going to public school, and that's okay, all right? However, Madeline, my daughter Madeline, went to a party, and she's not around a lot of people, and this weekend she was, and that's okay. You got to live too. You got to get around people. You have to have friends, It's nice to do things that are fun. So she went to a party, and no kidding, 2 or 3 days later, she comes home really, really sick. Scratchy throat, sore throat, sinus stuff, headache, stomach ache, nausea, the whole works. And during this time, the very first thing that I recommend that you get on is, and I always recommend the highest quality essential oils, okay? And in this case, for viruses, there is nothing better in the essential oil world than Thieves, all right? There are a lot of really great products, but Young Living makes a fantastic, really top of the line. It's the highest vibrational essential oil that is out there, other than if we infuse love energy and healing energy into that, or into a product like that, or a high quality product, that would be a higher vibrational oil. Do you see? So Young Living is by far the one that I recommend. doTERRA is also really good. You need a high quality, really good product. If you don't want to be sick, it's like kind of like cardiologists. If you want a really good doctor, the first thing I'm going to do is ask God. With all of this medicine stuff, ask God, what's best for me? Should I take this? What's the best solution for how I'm feeling and how to help me to be well, okay? In the space I'm in, how to be free of being unwell. What's going to help me the best for this symptom, this unwellness, this illness, whatever is going on? What is going to help me to be the wellest me, or the healthiest me that I can be right now? And it's going to help alleviate the symptoms, show me and direct me and give me those tools and tips, and clear, heal, and change any blocks in me that would stop me from having those solutions. This is how we do it. And we ask God, of course, to be the healthiest us that we can be. The other thing that I do too, when we get migraines and headaches, I'm always calling in Jesus. I'm always calling Christ energy. I'm calling the archangels. I'm calling my guides. Okay, love energy, clear, heal, and change this. Take away this pain. Take this away, this anxiety. Give me the best tools in this 3D practical world to heal and assist me, as well as let me know what to use, when to use, how to use it, what to do, what you guide me to, Spirit, for everything that I need right now to be well. Okay, that's the very first thing you're going to do. And when we're sick, I always gravitate, like I said, first and foremost to the essential oils, and taking a look at all the natural tools and stuff that has been in our everyday lives since the beginning of time to help us heal and be well. Okay, and all of this stuff goes back to, some of it's really good wives' tale stuff, like chicken noodle soup, chicken soup. Of course, the more homemade, the less chemicals, the more authentic, the better. The less pastas and things like that in it, the better. Okay, there is, for the most part, for everybody. Of course, again, it's earth world rules, so to speak, love energy rules, or love energy laws, okay, in this earth world vibration that we have to work with in this space. Sickness is created in this space from here, which is is created in here, but comes from our souls, of course. With our unwellness, we run ourselves down sometimes, but ultimately our soul calls in everything to make us well. Okay, so sickness is in those alignments as well. All right, but for today, what I really wanted to talk to you is about natural healing and some really good stuff and tools and tips to help you be well, that is natural. Okay, so when you have a virus, any kind of virus, the first thing I recommend is doing the Young Living Thieves. We prefer, if you're going to take the Vitality, they recommend, and of course, a lot of this stuff has to do with the government. Young Living makes excellent products. Not all essential oils are for oral intake. A lot of them are for topical. So you want to be wise and know what the hell you're doing. And if you don't know, you ask Spirit to know. Ask Spirit to guide you. Whether it's, maybe they'll guide you to reading on the internet about the information that you need to understand how to use an oil or something. Or maybe they'll tell you to call somebody like me, medical intuitive, a natural healer, or maybe they'll tell you to call the doctor, or do you know what I mean? Spirit will tell you exactly what you need to be the wellest, healthiest you, okay, in whatever moment that you are in. So for viruses, I recommend both Vitality and regular Young Living essential oil, and in this particular one that I recommend is Thieves, and I put it in a mug, a nice big coffee mug. And I fill that 2/3 of the way with essential oil, and depending on what Spirit tells me, what number of drops they give me for each particular person who comes to me. In my case, for my daughter Madeline, it was 17. She's super sensitive, so I take this big coffee mug that's like this, fill it 2/3 of the way with light olive oil, all guided by love energy that is God from the highest vibration. I put 17 drops of Young Living essential oil in there, and I mix it really good. And then we dip our hands in there, we rub it on our feet. We do this in the morning before we go to school, and in the evening, when we come home. And this is just for regular protection to keep viruses off us. It helps to assist to do those things. It is an antiviral. Okay, so you rub it on the bottoms of your feet. Okay, not massive amounts. You don't need massive amounts. You dip 2 fingers in your jar, you know, like if this milk was that, you dip 2 fingers in there, right? All right, and you rub it on your feet. Again, it's the Young Living Essential Oils mixture of light olive oil, 2/3 of the way in your biggest mug. You stir it up, and it has to be glass or porcelain so that it doesn't eat into it. And you want to use a tin foil top or a glass mug as well, and you want to store it in a dark or cooler place. Okay, but when you use it, you dip 2 fingers in there, you rub it on the bottom of the feet. You can also rub it on your chest if they're having a hard time breathing, any kind of muscles, like a lot of times I'll put it on my back if I'm having a hard time breathing, or I have like a what do you call it, a sinus thing, coughing, or I feel congestion, or like muscle pains and stuff. Sometimes you'll get viruses in your muscles and things like that. So this is really good topical. Again, topical. You're not going to take that oil and that you've mixed with the olive oil. You're going to topically apply that. Okay, you're not going to drink that. Okay, now you can use the Vitality Young Living oil, and you can put that in a nice cup of tea. Okay, you can use different variations of all natural teas without caffeine. As the more all natural, the better. I prefer the old-fashioned traditional tea. There's lovely components in that. If you can get it with the least amount of caffeine in the morning, it's fine. But when you're trying to get some rest, caffeine is never good after 2 to 3 p.m. Everybody who's sensitive, like us people, all right, highly gifted, evolved, spiritual people, higher vibrational people, we're super sensitive, and caffeine is just gonna keep you up way longer than you need to be, because the most important thing here for when you're not well, and always when you're not well, is rest. Because rest, laying down, resting, allows your body to recoup. It's kind of like if somebody keeps kicking you when you're down and you keep trying to get up, you're never going to be well, right? You can't seem to kick it. So it's the same kind of concept. When you get rest, you get really good night's sleep rest, then you can then allow your body to be well. Okay, so you can also use thieves in tea. We recommend like 1 drop. I usually recommend 1 to 2 drops in a cup of tea, a nice big cup of tea, and you can do that once or twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, or 1 drop 1 to 2 to 3 times a day in your tea. Again, a big mug, and you ingest that. Okay, Spirit guides me to tell people that, and use that on your feet, and use not the tea on your feet, but you use the mixture that I told you of the thieves oil on your feet. For just daily maintenance to prevent viral infections and to help keep them away and off of you. Definitely use it on your feet in the mornings and in the evenings. It has been our experience that it's fantastic when, excuse me, when you go to school, my kids would go to school, and it would keep the viruses basically off of them. And if they did come home with a virus, okay, what would happen is they already have protection against them, and then the effects of the virus are not as potent as when they don't take it at all. And hands down, my real life experiences that we've seen with the girls and with myself, I mean, everything from flus to stomach virus to 24-hour virus to 72-day viruses. This will save you many trips to the doctors if you just put thieves oil mixture, okay, on your feet, the one that I recommend, okay, with Young Living. If you have any questions, you can PM me. You're not sure how to do it, you ask, all right? So you first always talk to Spirit about what's the best amount of drops for you in the mug, how much olive oil I told you, and anywhere from 17 to 23 drops you put in that mug, and that's the mixture that you would mix on your feet. And then the tea, you could do the tea with that. And again, you don't have to do both of these things. If you're really, really sick and you have like the flu, I totally recommend it, okay? And then there's other things you can do too for when you're not well. But the main thing that I want to talk about in this video is the Young Living and the essential oils, antivirals such as thieves, to help you really combat and help protect you from getting viruses. Now, I can tell you when we had the flu, one year my daughter Sophia got the flu, And it was like the day before Christmas. It was just rough ass, right? And we were like, oh my God, because everybody in the car, when she started to like throw up, we were like, oh, we all knew we were going to get it. And it's like, oh my God, you know? So when that happened, we all ran home. We mixed up a big jar of thieves, right? And we put it on our feet, right? And, you know, and that, believe it or not, we put it on us like 2 to 3 times a day to prevent it from coming. And so in the morning, we put it on the bottom of our feet, in the middle of the day, and in the evening, okay? And this really, really helped, because when each one of us ended up with the flu, for the most part, it negated it. This was a really bad flu. It came on, a lot of people had it for like 3 weeks, and really bad symptoms: headaches, nausea, vomiting, throwing up, you know, not eating, sinus stuff, diarrhea, all that lovely stomach stuff that kind of comes with the flu. All right. So, however, using the thieves and preparing beforehand by putting that thieves on totally negated so many of the symptoms and the serious unwellness, that it actually wasn't nearly as bad for any or all of us, because we were using the thieves. Okay. Then when it only went on for like 3 to 5 days, and the symptoms weren't nearly as severe as when we don't use it, and it could have gone on for 2 to 3 weeks. That what other people were having, you know, in the girls' classes when they went to public school. So since we don't have a lot of time here today, I'm just going to stick to talking to you about the thieves as an antiviral, and as how you can take it internally as well as externally by rubbing it on your back, your chest, you know, wherever you're congested. I even put it like on my neck, on the back of my neck sometimes, and under here. I will sometimes put it on my sinuses, okay, to fight the virus, okay? And that helps. It really helps immensely. And how do you know? You know by doing, okay? Of course, I always recommend that for medical advice, you go see a doctor. You feel in your heart, you know, what is right for you, okay? But as natural alternatives, these are some of my favorite things I use every day and all the time for my children, my family, and me. And when you burn the candle at both ends like I do, I don't know if it was my dad who said that to me, but somebody said it to me a couple times, of course. They're like, you don't burn the candle in at both ends, you burn the candle at every end. You know, you burn the candle in the middle, right? So if you're like me and like today, I'm a little run down, so I'm going to take that thieves, and you bet I'm going to put it on my feet, but I'm also going to make sure I get some rest. Hot liquids and things like that for sinuses and colds are really good as well. Hot meaning warmer liquids, not baking, boiling. You know, don't be burning yourself and making it worse, right? Like, here's my cough. Because it's late. So I really should be getting to bed. So for the most part, we're talking about viruses, how to help you negate them and be well. Again, you can use things like chicken noodle soups, teas. Some of these traditional things are awesome. My dad, when I was growing up, when I would get eye infections and things like that, we used to use boric acid, you know, in a water solution as an eye mixture, you know, way back in the day. You know, depending on what you needed. But a lot of times you can negate eye irritations and things like that by rinsing them with water. You know, a lot of times I would recommend like a bottled water, but a room temperature, not something too cold and not something too warm, and something that's palatable. And, you know, to wipe your eye with a nice warm cloth, put a nice warm cloth on your eye, helps pull out the infection. Warm, hot, or warmer towels, moist towels are great for on your sinuses, over your eyes. Cool ones sometimes for your head, for migraines and cold symptoms and things like that. So all these things are great tools to help and assist you when you don't feel well. You know, when you have the flu type or viral type stuff going on. Again, sometimes you need a break, and if you're not getting relief, like Madeline was, you know, really cranky and irritable and couldn't breathe, so we ended up giving her, I think, Sudafed in the evening. And I try to use those things very sparingly. Spirit just said to me, go and get her this, because sometimes you just need some relief. Like sometimes I'll tell people, just go to the doctor, get antibiotics, get a flu med or whatever it is that you need to feel better, because sometimes you just get tired of suffering. And there's a balance in this reality. There's a reason all these different medicines and things are here. It's when you use the same things over and over that they are ineffective and they're unhealthy for you, because it's time to change this stuff up. Okay. All right. So tonight I just wanted to talk to you about a lot of these cool things, how to get well when you get a virus kind of thing. And you can use my favorite product for viruses to bang out the actual core of the virus is that Young Living. You can even use doTERRA essential oil that is Thieves. Okay. So I know we've gone a whole 20-minute segment, and this was a really cool one, a health segment talking about viruses and like a natural home remedies to help and assist you for stuff like this, okay? And that is all related to this. Also, you can use peppermint oil. You can use peppermint tea for nausea, vomiting, stomach issues, as well as peppermint oil. Now, the peppermint tea you would drink internally. Peppermint oil mixed with light olive oil. Usually it's a minimum of 15 to 17 drops. Sometimes more, but usually that's what Spirit tells me to keep it in there in the mixture, 2/3 light olive oil. You'd mix that up and you can rub that on your tummy, okay, which is fantastic for most of your stomach issues. It'll help assist you to feel better, whether it's the classic word I think is flatulence or stomach cramping or pains, diarrhea, can't go to the bathroom, nausea, all this good stuff, meaning being sarcastic is not good stuff, of course. These are all symptoms that are flu related that you can negate or help to make you well by rubbing that peppermint oil mixture on your tummy, okay? On your tummy. Make sure you get all around the sides, okay, of your tummy and right up to the bottom of your rib cage down to where the end of your stomach is before it meets like your pelvic area, okay? So you can use all of this and you just dip your hand again in that mug, your couple fingers, rub it all over your tummy. And you can do that up to every 15 minutes. And that's really awesome. And all these things are pretty safe to use on kids. You don't, if you have any questions or you want to research that or whatever, you can look this stuff up online because Spirit backs me up all the time from Love Energy. So they're not going to tell me anything that is unwell for you. And everything that I do and I recommend here is stuff that I do with myself and my family. Now, again, you want to make sure, of course, you use wisdom sense or common sense. If you know that you're allergic to something, you don't use the product. And it's always wisest to get advice from a doctor. You know, this way you're covering your ass. If there's anything in you that doesn't feel good about it, or you're worried about it, or you think something's not feeling right, then you always want to. I always bring it to source first. Should I go to the doctor? What should I do? Thanks God for letting me know that God's honest truth, clear, heal, and change my blocks that stop me from going. You'll know right away really what you should do when you should go to the doctors or not, because you feel it in your heart, okay? So these are some really good tips and tools to help you be well with viruses and the symptoms. So you could use the peppermint oil on your tummy. You can use the Thieves oil on your feet. You can also drink a drop of Thieves in your tea. You know, however palatable it works for you. I mean, these are all ways to help and assist you. Again, you can use peppermint. I always recommend you can mix the peppermint with the light olive oil mixture. You can put that on right here, a little bit here on your face. You can put that up here. You can put that over here and over here. Okay, and under here too. If you're having sinus stuff, you can put it on the back of your neck too for sinus stuff, headaches, dizziness. You can also use white flour. That's another product that I recommend that's fantastic for migraines. Again, on the back of your neck at your hairline, straight up out of the little jar. This white flour is not something that you would eat, okay? It's a topical, okay? So when you get a migraine, a cluster headache, dizziness, a sinus headache, this is for like the real major stuff. Like sometimes you'll get spots in your eyes, or you can't think right, or you can't see right, and you get those classic migraine symptoms. The white flour is fantastic, and I have little jars that I also sell all these products as well. So I stand by what we do. We sell them in my shopping center at the Copper Dragon and the Institute for Christ Consciousness, but we sell them at the Copper Dragon, and so you would pour a little little bit out on your finger, and you rub it across your hairline from ear to ear, and then you pour more, and you go all down the back of your neck to the top of that muscle that attaches your neck to your back, okay, and all across there. So I would probably say 4 to 6 drops, depending on how much you need. Again, straight out of the bottle for the white flower. You can do that with peppermint oil straight out of the bottle. That will help you cool off. That will help for sinus issues as well as the white flower. But I always use the white flower for serious ass headache stuff. You don't use both peppermint and that at the same time. You pick one or the other. So let's say if you had the flu, you could put the white flower back here. If you have a headache, you put peppermint on your tummy, the peppermint mixture, all right? And then you use thieves on your feet, and maybe you want to use thieves here. But you could also mix eucalyptus with light olive oil, and you can put a little bit of that on your chest if you're having breathing issues. Or on your back too, if you're having breathing issues with light olive oil, you would mix that, okay? So any questions that you have in reference to all this, or you don't understand what I'm talking about, this is some great remedies for the cold season and flu season. Like, I just got this cold tonight, so I'm going to put thieves on, and I'm going to do my best to get some rest because, like I said, lately I'm burning the candle at both ends. And so, but remember, always ask God, love, energy for everything that you need. You don't know what to do, you ask God that you do. So whenever I don't feel good, I always say, God, I'm not feeling good. What's best for me to do? Should I? And they'll give me some remedies. They'll tell me straight up because they talk to me 24/7. Words, thoughts, pictures, feelings. I will know what to do for my best health. And these are tools that are all natural, that are really good for everybody to help them. If you're allergic to them, of course, you don't take them. You always check with your doctor to be sure first. So then you can go down this road and you can use these great products for you. And then you're going to avoid lots of money in doctor's expenses and time, all right? That's going to take away from your time because you can use these things truly to be well, all right? And to help you be the wellest you. All right, so for tonight, I think that's pretty much great tools and tips to assist you with the cold and flu season. You can also use these things in diffusers as well. Great for helping you breathe. There's lots of good things in that as well. When I say helping you breathe, like you could put a little bit of eucalyptus under your nose. You can also use these things in diffusers. You can also use lavender in a diffuser to calm you down at night if you need to rest. Okay, so eucalyptus in a diffuser, a few drops of that will help you breathe. And again, use it for you. Keep it in a room with you. You want to make sure that your pets and your family pets are out of the area when you do these things. So that you're safest for you and everybody for now. Okay, let's see. So I think that's pretty much everything for today. I just wanted to give you some tips and tools for this cold and flu season that are going to help you get through it, how you can use these things. If you get sick, you can always contact me. I'll gladly help you to assist you. And I think that's everything for today. And many blessings and so much love. And I will see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be on Illuminate Frederick in Frederick, Maryland. And on Sunday, I'm going to be in Hampstead. All right. So any questions you guys have, we're really here to help and assist each other in this world. And the more we come from love with everything, and the more we work with Source, again, ask God, talk to God for your greatest health always. Should I do what Lynn says? Is this really good for her? For me or my kid. If I feel it in my heart, if I'm not feeling something, then I don't do it. Should I check with the doctor? You know what I mean? So you always want to work with love energy that is God 24/7 to get all your best solutions. But this is where God or love energy has led to me for some of the greatest health stuff too. They also want me to quickly tell you in this last few minutes as well that salt water, okay, salt and warm water, and a cup like this, warm water and salt, is great for sore throats, gargling, especially Himalayan sea salt, a more natural salt. But if you don't have that, you can easily use a regular table salt in a nice warm water. Yeah, it doesn't taste really great, but you can do that 4 or 5 times a day. You're gonna negate. It's gonna help to heal throat issues that you have, sore throat, irritations, post-nasal drip. It's going to help get rid of the pains and the uncomfortness and the scratchiness with that. And it's going to help it heal better. Very few things can live in a saltwater environment, and on a constant degree, it's a great healing tool. It really is. All right. So meaning when I say very few things, I'm talking about viruses and things like that. Okay. Okay, so I think we're good for today. Many blessings to all you guys. Any questions, just email me, text me, PM me. You have all my contacts. If you want to do a reading or learn more medical intuitive stuff that's specific to you, or have any questions about your health, your best diet, your best things to eat and do and take, then just contact me. All right? All right, have a great night, and I'm going to go get some rest. All right, good night.